Call this Caddo Parish Commission meeting to order, please. No problem? He loves that. All right. Please be seated. May we have the roll call, please? Yes, sir.
Dominic. McCullough.
Here.
Pearson. Lynn.
Present.
Jenkins. Present. Baker.
Here.
Lynch.
Here.
Escaday.
Here.
Thibodeau.
Here.
Cox.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Pepperson.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. We've had 2 invocations and 2 pledges today, so we're going to move along. Are there any agenda additions for anyone at this time? Okay. Being none, first we'll move to visitors. First visitor we have is Mr. Grant Sluter of Foley and Judell.
Thank you very much. It's time to proceed with the sale of the $6 million of bonds. First item will be to consider resolution number 64 to authorize the opening of the bids.
So moved. It's been moved by Commissioner Thibodeau, seconded by Commissioner Baker, that we authorize the opening of the bids. Is there any discussion on the motion? All right, let's vote, please. All right, let's see them.
Let me just make sure now. I have the electronic bids that came in at 3:30, and I understand we do not have any sealed bids that have been presented. Is that correct?
Yeah, I remember one. Yes, sir.
So we have 4 bids that have been submitted, and I think you're going to be extremely happy with the results. If I could, I'd just take a minute though and talk about your bond rating, because you had the site visit from the Standard & Poor's representatives and here in Shreveport, and you all probably gave the most comprehensive presentation to the rating agency personnel that I've ever seen. Woody, you had a whole slate of speakers, Barksdale, cyber, the film industry, and on and on and on and on and on. And that was extremely helpful to these folks from Standard & Poor's. Of course, what we're trying to do, we didn't get it this time, is to get yet another bond rating. And there's only one more rating that we can go up to. We're at the second highest rating that any rating agency can give. You're the only parish with that rating. You're the first public body in Louisiana to get that AA+. There's only one other entity for a sales tax bond issue that now does have a AA+, and that's the city of Baton Rouge. But no other parishes, no school boards, no other cities, nor the state of Louisiana itself. The AAA is very, very difficult to obtain, but we're going to go back next year and try for it again. Whether or not we have a bond issue, we're going to ask for that general credit rating for the parish to get up to that absolute gold standard AAA, and there's very, very few of those in the country. If I might, I know you have copies of the rating report from Standard & Poor's, but if I could just read 2 or 3 sentences from it. Historically, very strong financial performance and position due to strong financial management. We consider Caddo Parish's financial performance and position to be very strong. The parish employs conservative budgeting practices, and overall debt levels to taxpayers are low. So they're comparing you to other public bodies across the country, just not in Louisiana. So a very, very strong report, a very extensive report. Their financial management assessment is strong. So in follow-up discussions with the analysts, they basically said, there's not anything more that you guys can do. You've got your financial house more than in order. The only thing that's going to be a consideration in going to that final level of the AAA is going to be the local economy, diversification, and what kind of resilience and growth you have in the economy over time. So that's what they're looking at in the future, and that's what they're going to be looking at next year. Would you like the bids?
Please, please.
Just to recap, the last 3 bond sales that you had, you voted the $30 million without the tax increase, and we issued them $10 million each. The first series of 10 million was in '07. You had an interest rate of 4.64%. The next year, you did another 10 million in 2008, and you had a 4.52. And then in '09, last year, you had the final 10 million at 3.75. You received 4 bids today, and all 4 bids have been lower than the low bid last year. The low bid this year is from Morgan Keegan at 3.34%. 3.34%. Second bid is Robert Beard, 3.65. The third bid is from Duncan Williams, 3.67. And the final bid is Southwest Securities at 3.71. 3.34%. 20-year bonds.
Outstanding.
Are there any questions?
Anyone have any questions for Grant? Comments?
In my business, this is about as good as it gets.
I want to thank you. We have very good staff, and this body's always been fiscally conservative, but I know it's with your help and your guidance and your tutelage helps us to do the things we need to do to get this kind of rate. And we're truly blessed to have your firm as a partner in that. You're keeping our costs down and helping us improve. So I just personally want to thank you for your job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Grant.
And I would encourage all of you and the media and everyone else, read the credit report from Standard & Poor's. It's an excellent, excellent credit report, and it's not me saying it, it's not you saying it, it's not the administration saying it. It's objective parties, credit rating agencies, national, international scope that are rating you and comparing you to public bodies all over the nation. And I think that's very good. If you'd like to proceed, we can award the bonds, which would be resolution number 65, accepting the low bid of Morgan Keegan.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Thibodeau and seconded by Ms. Baker. Is there any discussion on the motion? All right, and we will be accepting the bid of whom? Morgan Keegan. Any discussion? Vote please. That passes.
And the final action, I don't know if you can take it now, but you may have to take it in order, but the final action will be the ordinance number 5028,
Go ahead and
5028.
dispense with that now. Entertain a motion for that ordinance. It has been moved by Commissioner Thibodeau. That's true, that's true. We have to have a public hearing on that part. Grant, thank you. Mr. Thibodeau has a question for you.
I just have one comment. I just want to encourage Woody, we can't force the media to report this stuff, but to send them a little package and ask them to please report this, because this is outstanding news for a government body, not only, certainly locally, but statewide and national-wise, and whatever we can do to help them put that word out, I think they should do it.
Yes, sir. I will. Mr. Causey asked me for...
I realize you can't force them, but let's give them the information anyway.
Yes, sir.
We thank you, appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you, Grant. Thanks, Grant. All right, next we have Mr. Ernie Roberson. Come forth and be heard.
He's even awake.
First of all, thank you for the invitation, and congratulations to two of your members, Commissioner McCulloch and Commissioner Jenkins, on their election to the City Council. I hate to lose you, but I sure have enjoyed working with you on this level, continue to work with you on the next level.
Thank you, sir.
Just kind of a scan of what happened in the election. We, of course, had 164,294 that were eligible to vote, and we had 72,533 go vote parish-wide. So that's 41.14, excuse me, that's 44.14% that actually went to vote. In Shreveport, the turnout was 46.15, so it's up a little bit in the city, I'm sure, due to the mayor's race. We had 3,606 early voters. I know we had a couple of folks come through and vote early and got to see the new double check-in, which reduced lines entirely. my golly, that idea worked. So I'm glad to see one come through. And that helped tremendously because people just buzzed through in early voting. We really think that we can go almost 5,000 people without any significant lines in early voting. Just depends on when they show up. Obviously, the early morning lines will be long if there is one, and then the line around lunchtime. But when we got to the end of early voting, nobody was standing in line, so that was the first time in 20 years I've seen that happen in a major election. So I was glad to see that happen. But we had 3606 in person, average 54.2 per hour that we did early voting, which compared to other parishes, I believe from what I know in other parishes and the parishes I looked at, only Jefferson Parish was with us. They had 54.2, and then St. Tammany had a higher percentage, just mainly because they had more voters early. So that's good. We were in the efficiency side of it. And then the by-mail voters continue to grow, as we thought they would when the 65 and above program came in, and it's ticking along. We've got 1,720 people on the 65 and above program that we mail out for every parish-wide election or for whatever their district is, and we pull that district out. So that's going to continue to be the rhinoceros running down the road at us. And I may have to be talking to you, to be quite honest with you, before 2012 about some equipment to actually handle that, because the Secretary of State's office obviously doesn't have a lot of funds. But I think we're going to be looking at 4,000, maybe 6,000 people who are going to wind up on that program within the next couple of years. It proved to be very popular. And we wound up mailing out 2,097 ballots this time. In the presidential election 2 years back, we mailed out 3,303. The percentage of return is, of course, something that depends upon when the ballot's mailed out and whether the person has an interest to vote when they get the ballot. But in the presidential election, we got 24 back, so that's about let's call that roughly two-thirds return rate. In this election, it's a little bit higher because we got 1,484 back timely. Now, in that regards, from your standpoint as I'm going to talk a little bit about being a candidate in this election, whenever you get to a runoff in, say, your cycle, we're running these 30-day primaries or 40-day primary. I mean, 30 days apart for the election. I'm receiving the ballots on Thursday before the Tuesday early voting starts. So our goal, that's really a tight time frame, is to have the ballot chart done and then make sure we do all the inventory and get the ballots pulled, the correct ballots, put into the envelopes and get them all mailed, usually by the first day of early voting. This time we had 200 ballots that we mailed on Wednesday morning, so it's still within the time frame we look for. That's very difficult in these short time frame elections when you're running 30 days, and the reason is you complete your election on this day, we got to wait 10 days. The legal challenges, Secretary of State prints the ballots, we don't get them until, say, 3 or 4 days later, usually closer to 4 or 5, and then we're starting early voting on the 17th day before the election. So that's a lot of numbers, but basically there's not much time to mail those ballots is what I'm saying to you. So that's why it's important that we come up with a system, hopefully in the future, that we're going to use a little bit more mechanization in mailing. There are systems that do that. I'm not sure the cost now. Hopefully they've gone down a little bit. Currently, also, we did have the most ballots received back in the state of Louisiana. Because of that, the Secretary of State's office provided us with an additional scanner for election night. They actually gave us one that worked, and we coupled it with the one that we had that worked and the one that didn't work all that well. And we were able to get all the ballots pulled out and read by about 5:30 on election evening, which was earlier than we planned, but having that extra scanner was it, because it read almost, I think, about 3,700 ballots on its own. And we also had an experienced tech this time. Our total early voters in Caddo was 5,012. That's something you need to always remember, is that many people have already voted a week, or at least the in-person 3606 have already voted a week before the election starts, the other folks are making up their mind, mailing those ballots back. And always, during early voting, because of the media attention, people want to get their ballot and get it mailed back because they always run the misconception it has to be completed by the time early voting ends. I don't try to particularly correct that because we get their ballots back early. I like that. I want you to mail that ballot back so that we can go ahead and do the processing on it. Looking also at the number of calls we got on Election Day, which is kind of an in-house thing for us. I even brought some of this, and I know I scared Mr. Wilson to death last year when I pulled out the ballot chart, but this time I didn't. I had the ballot chart, but I'm not going to get it out. These are the actual calls that we received on Election Day, and these are the people that called, so make a record of every call so that we are able to know what the situation was and able to save in case of a legal challenge. Of course, in federal elections, you really need them. But we had 929 people call us on Election Day that we talked to, and we also had 53 walk-ins, so nearly 1,000 people helped on Election Day. Most of the questions, 90% are going to be the same question: where do I vote? So we have the website where people can go to caddovoter.org, look up where to go vote. We try to encourage that this time. I was doing the blog, which is the only one like it, only in Louisiana, as far as I know, in the nation. Somebody in the election administration is trying to blog and tell people what's going on. But also, we run Facebook this time, and we were doing Facebook social media, telling people when the deadlines were, when to come early vote, trying to keep people informed and let them know what was going on. That helped out some. And that's about what I have to say on all of that. Be glad for any questions.
Anyone have any questions? Commissioner Lynch?
Ernie, thank you for accepting my invitation to come down, and that's exactly what I wanted to some of the information that you did today, but I also wanted to just express my appreciation, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of my colleagues, for the job that you do. I would say, you run a very efficient and effective operation, especially given what the resources that you have, which I know are tied to the state. You talked about some additional equipment needs. I'd like to get that information from you. As you know, we're in our budget time, and I'm not sure if it's in there or not.
It's not in there this time.
I'd just like to get an idea of what those two costs. You talked about some equipment for
Mail-outs.
Mail-outs.
Mail-out, that's
and
the
what
big
was the
deal.
other one?
Mainly the mail-out is what we're going to be needing.
Okay.
Just the
Immediate.
mail-out. We feel like we've kind of, at least temporarily, solved the problem with early voting.
Okay. And I know that the updates you were sending out on the early voting statistics, that was very helpful, I'm sure, for the candidates and campaigns, but it was good to have that information and to know that our citizens were engaging. And I think you talked about the phone calls, but I think part of the process, when people have confidence in the office, the registered voter's office, then it's easy for people to engage in the process of voting. So I thank you for the job that you're doing, and we got notice to Gary Lofton a little late, and I know that they are the other half that's doing a great job, but I'll get him here to tell him that. But thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anyone else? Thank you, Ernie.
Thank you very much.
All right. Next, we adopt the minutes of meeting October 7th. So moved. Moved by Commissioner Dominic. Seconded by Commissioner Lynn. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Is that October 7th and 21st, or just the 7th?
7th.
Okay.
We have 3 sets.
I got it. So, next, go ahead and I'll make a motion that we adopt the minutes on October 14th and the official minutes of October 21st. Second by Commissioner Dominic. Any discussion on the motion? Commissioner Lynch.
On the October 21st minutes, on resolution 56, please show me as an abstention. And then on ordinance 5026, and there were a few others that I was out of the chamber on, talking to some good-looking man that was up here, Kevin Smith, I think was his name. And I went out the chamber for a few votes, so I wanted to make sure that was reflected in the minutes. Thank you.
Any other discussion on the motions? Please vote. Those passed. Special resolutions, do we have any? No, sir. No communication reports. Commissioner Lynch?
Let me just say, we had the Veterans Program earlier, and the Employee Council, you know, just when you think they can't take it up a notch or do better, they do it every year, so certainly want to commend them for that. I also wanted to thank Everett Harris for taking care of a constituent of mine. I was not here for that particular meeting that came down and had an issue with some dogs, and I think Matthew and David followed up on that. Thank you all for assisting on that case. And just congratulations to Rose.
Pray for her husband, too.
Right, we're continuing to do that, but congratulations on winning your seat. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Wright. Commissioner Jenkins?
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to take this opportunity to remind our citizens that this Sunday, November 7th, Christian Services will be holding their annual Poor Man's Supper. This event is going to be from 5:30 to 6:30 this coming Sunday on November 7th. And it's going to be at the First United Methodist Church, and certainly want to encourage our citizens to go out and participate in this particular program. It is not essentially a fundraiser, although donations are always appreciated, but it's designed really, Mr. President, to bring attention to the plight of the poor and the homeless in our community. I also provided information that this year alone, Christian Services served over 100,000 meals, over 100,000 meals. And they found that there's an increase in the persons who are coming through those doors now, and people who are just unemployed or displaced. It's not just poor and homeless people, but this economy is affecting a lot of people in an adverse way. So to the extent that you can go down and make a donation, they generally charge $5 as a pass-through. We want to encourage our citizens to do that and to otherwise participate in whatever way that you can this Sunday. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Commissioner Jenkins. Commissioner Epperson?
On Monday, November the 8th, at 3:30 p.m., all of the Facilities and Space Utilization Committee members will be touring the Fenner Building. And on Monday, November the 15th, immediately following the work session meeting, we will have a Facilities and Space Utilization meeting. And I also would like to thank Mr. Glass, Mr. Whittington, and Mr. Hank, the South Camp Supervisor, for touring the district and speaking with the citizens out there regarding issues with streets and drainage. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Epperson. Commissioner McCullough?
Yes, I would like to take this opportunity to especially thank you, Mr. Escaday, our chairperson, the Caddo Parish Commission, for your support for me as a candidate for the Shreveport City Council District A seat, and all of the other commissioners that supported me by way of remarks, financial, whatever aspect, for your support that said to me that you really believed in me. I really hate to go, and I just want to thank you too, Attorney Alex Washington, for your support. And if there are any others here that you actually supported me that I'm overlooking, I'd like to take this time to say thank you for your support, and thanks again for believing in me.
Thank you, Commissioner McCullough. Any other communications? Mr. Wilson, do you have anything?
Yes, sir, I did. We have an award presentation for Attorney Grubbs. Charles, you want me to hold in, please? I wasn't here at the last commission meeting, commissioners, but I did want this opportunity to go by without us first publicly recognizing Charles. Charles received the International Municipal Lawyers Association Distinguished Service Award for a local county government attorney. And Charles, as you all know, has been in public service for a long time, and this is a very prestigious award. Very prestigious. Matter of fact, there are several criteria for this award. I'm going to read to you one of them, of the 7. This says the nominee achievement demonstrate personal characteristics of integrity, honesty, leadership, selflessness, dedication, tact, diplomacy, astuteness in dealing with the news media and the public. Phenomenal achievement has been promulgated by their peers through the presentation of papers on the subject matters of achievement, through our participation in panels at programs sponsored by the local, state, and national professional association. And certainly, Charles has done a great job for us, and I want you all to see this award. And Charles, on behalf of the Caddo Parish Commission and staff, we congratulate you and salute you. Job well done, and this award is well deserved by you. We thank you for your work.
Anything, Charles?
I just want to tell you all, I'm not much at standing up here and having a spotlight there myself, but I do want to tell you that I'm a very blessed person because I come to work every day, enjoying to come to work because I've represented public bodies my whole life, y'all, for the last 9 years. It's something I really enjoy doing. It's a privilege for me to, it's a real personal privilege for me to represent the Caddo Parish Commission. I just want to take this opportunity to tell you that I've been active to one degree or another in this organization for going back to my city days. It's 2,700 municipalities and counties in this country and in Canada is why they call it international. This award was a very unexpected situation for me that kind of caught me off guard, but I appreciate the recognition, and I want to tell you that I certainly enjoy the work that I do for y'all. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to congratulate Attorney Grubb on receiving that award. And those of us in the legal arena know, you know, it's a very prestigious achievement. They don't just give those away. They really don't. And it means a lot when someone sees that kind of recognition on your resume. So I just want to say, you know, I congratulate you on that achievement. A lot of people don't know, but some may know, I served as an assistant city attorney for a number of years with Attorney Grubb when he was the city attorney. And then, of course, coming down here and working with him as the parish attorney, you have a very long and distinguished record of service in municipal law. And, you know, I can say without hesitation that you are held in high esteem among your colleagues, because I've talked to parish attorneys, city attorneys around the state at various times, and they recognize your name, they recognize your work. So we don't want to be remiss here in Caddo Parish just because you're here and not take the time to recognize that. And I think once again, it shows that Caddo Parish, just as with the commissioners and with the administration, once again, we are leaders among leaders. And you have added another star to Caddo Parish. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Commissioner Jenkins. Commissioner Dominic.
I hope you're not adding too much to your resume, kind of leaving anywhere, but you know, it's just an outstanding job you did. I would like to reiterate what Commissioner Jenkins said and also say that it is real nice to see a lawyer that gets an award with an eagle and not a bunch of vultures.
Congratulations. Is that a legal eagle? Yeah. Being that the membership in the organization is so large and this is such a prestigious honor, I'm just wondering, does any of the people who vote for you actually know you, John? I'm very proud of you. I think I speak for all of us. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Wilson, do you have anything else?
No, sir, not today.
All right, now we have citizens' comments. Are there anyone here who wishes to address the commission on any matter other than zoning and it's not on the agenda?
Yeah.
All right, being none, we're going to move next to the public hearing on ordinances.
Ordinance 5028, providing for the incurring of debt and issuance of $6 million preliminary tax revenue bond.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of this ordinance? Anyone in opposition? Next, please.
Ordinance 5029, to repeal Section 2, Code of Ordinances relative to the Department of Fleet Services.
Anyone here to speak in favor of this ordinance? Anyone opposed? Next, please.
Ordinance 5030, adopting and enacting a new Code of Ordinances for the Parish of Caddo.
Anyone here to speak in favor of this ordinance? Anyone in opposition? That concludes our public hearing on ordinances. Now we'll move to final passage.
Ordinance 5028, providing for the incurring of debt and issuance of $6 million of limited tax revenue bonds.
Moved by Commissioner Thibodeau. Seconded by Commissioner Baker. Is there any discussion on the motion? Please vote. That passes. Next item, please.
Ordinance 5029, to repeal Section 2 of the Code of Ordinances relative to the Department of Fleet Services.
Moved by the chair.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Cox. Any discussion on the motion? Please vote. Thank you. That passes. Next item.
Ordinance 5030, adopting and enacting the Code of Ordinances of Parish of Caddo. So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Cox. Seconded by Commissioner Smith. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Okay.
Yes, Commissioner Dominic.
Exactly what is this doing? Just setting the limit that it should be set at?
The limit of what?
This is 50/30, is that correct?
Yes. Okay. All right. Got it? Yep. Any more discussion? Please vote. All right. Next item.
Ordinance 5021, amending and reacting Chapter 2, Caddo Parish Code of Ordinances regarding the application fee for the sale of donation of adjudicated property.
Moved by Commissioner Lynch, seconded by Commissioner Cox. Is there any discussion on this motion? Please vote. All right. Passes. Okay, that does it. We have zoning for ordinances for introduction.
Voting case P10, property located at the end of St. Charles Place, Norris Ferry Road, LLC, applicant, requesting to change from R1 to R1D, RA to R1D.
All right, that's good. Do we have the work session minutes for November 1? Yes, I entertain a motion to accept those. Moved by Commissioner Epperson, seconded by Commissioner Cox. Is there any discussion on the motion? If not, please vote. That passes. All right, resolutions. We've done 64 and 65. We'll move to resolution 66.
Resolution 66, to request and authorize Louisiana State Mineral and Energy Board to accept nominations and advertise for oil and gas mineral leases as requested by Tapper Resources.
So moved. Moved by Commissioner Dominic, seconded by Commissioner Thibodeau. Is there any discussion on this motion? Being none, let's vote. Call it. Thank you. Next item, that passes.
Resolution 68, urging Governor Jindal and the Louisiana Legislature to fund the Caddo Health Unit at its sufficient level.
Moved by Commissioner Baker. Seconded by Commissioner Lynn. Any discussion on this resolution? If not, please vote. That passes. Old business, any?
No old business.
New business.
Okay, we have confirmation for appointment of Mr. Charles Reynolds to the Black Bayou Watershed
So
Committee.
moved. Moved by Commissioner Dominic, seconded by Commissioner Thibodeau. Any discussion on this appointment? Please vote. That passes. Next item.
Authorize preparation of a resolution in recognition of Mr. Frederick Wells.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Jenkins, seconded by Commissioner Baker. Is there any discussion on the resolution? Being none, let's vote, please. That passes. Next item.
Authorize preparation of a resolution of recognition for Ms. Maddie McCullough.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Jenkins, seconded by Commissioner Lynch. Is there any discussion on the motion?
McCullough.
McCullough, seconded that. Any discussion on the motion? If not, please vote. That passes. Okay, we have a board confirmation list just for your information. You don't have anything else? We will adjourn for 10 minutes and we will have a special public hearing. Meeting adjourned.